Hello everyone. Today my group will present how diplomacy help promote human rights in other country. Before that, let me introduce myself. I am Manisha and my group member is Elsie Stacy and Rena Jawai. Let's begin now.
Hi, I'm Elsie, and now I will start with the introductions. What is diplomacy? The term of diplomacy was derived from the ancient Greek diploma, which brings the meaning of an object folded in two. Diplomacy usually related with international relations. The modern definitions for diplomacy is it known as a method where it involves the government to influence the actions of the foreign governments in a peaceful tactics like negotiations and dialogue. Other than that, diplomacy also can be defined when there is a person dealing with another person's or difficult situations with skill through way which create a peaceful solutions without offending or upsetting them. The representative from various groups or nations will discussing on certain issues such as conflict, trade, the environment, technology, and issues with regard to the security. Next, what is human rights? Human rights is known as a set of principles which is about equality and fairness. Every single people in this world has their dignity and value. With the human rights, people are able to recognize their freedom to make their own decisions regarding their lives and help them to develop potential as human beings. Apart from that, human rights also is about living in a life where there is no fears, harassment, and discriminations. Malaysia helped Afghanistan provide human rights to citizens. According to Malaysia Deputy Foreign Minister Datuk Kamaluddin Jaafar, Malaysia and Afghanistan have close ties for more than 20 years. Currently, Malaysia is in contact with the governments of Afghanistan. It is to provide the human rights for all the citizens in Afghanistan, which also include the democratic practices and the rights of women. Currently, Afghanistan is ruled by the Taliban. Taliban is known as the terrorist organizations. Even though Afghanistan is ruled by the Taliban, Malaysia has the channels for them to communicate with the new Afghanistan government. One of the ways was through the delegations from the Global Peace Missions Malaysia. Datuk Kamaluddin Jaafar before had said that the women representation is also important in the administrations. Instead of protecting the rights of women, their roles in participate in the community and nations building also important. Besides that, not only women rights, Malaysia also established the relations with Afghanistan to help the country in terms of education. Afghanistan is an affected country in terms of education because of war. Malaysia provides the opportunities for the Afghanistan students to study in Malaysia. They can focusing the study on human resource development since the study will able to help the Afghanistan to develop. Both Malaysia and Afghanistan can do the training studies cooperations and exchange program for the students between the two countries. Then, according to an article by New Straits Times, Malaysia government has been urged to help the children in the Afghanistan. Approximately 3.2 million of children in Afghanistan are at risk of death. It is because of acute malnutrition, extreme cold weather, and also lack of food. Thus, the case of measles also increased in the country, which has stated by the World Health Organization (WHO). Therefore, Malaysia government have to urge other Islamic countries to work together before the situation getting deteriorates in Afghanistan.
Hello, I am Rena Jawai and I'm going to talk on the second point on how diplomacy helps to promote human rights, which is Chinese step up vaccine diplomacy to African country. Many poor countries all around the world tend to avoid the major problem, which is the coronavirus pandemic from entering their country. This is due to the poor healthcare system in their country. Their concern continue to grow as the increasing of coronavirus infection and the new version of the virus appear. Furthermore, the shortage of the vaccine had become one of the challenges for the effort to fight the coronavirus pandemic. in African country. 1.3 billion people was at risk due to the sudden increase of cases and deaths in the country. Therefore, to avoid the infection from increasing, Zimbabwe had enforced the new lockdown in the country. The official in Zimbabwe stated that he had persuaded the people in the country to be vaccinated, but many chose to not. There are over 15 million people in the country, but only use a million of 1.7 million doses of vaccine. Furthermore, the vaccination program becomes slow in Zimbabwe, as the country running out of the oxygen to help the patient with the breathing problem. And the hospital also turned away the patient whose cases are not serious. Therefore, to tackle the problem, China had taken the initiative to help the African country. China came with a solution when the experts all around the world criticized the wealthy nation as those countries failing to offer a proper access to vaccine to people in the poor country. According to Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, he promised to donate 600 million doses of its coronavirus vaccine to the African country, along with the 1,500 health experts to Africa. He stated the vaccine supply peaked during the opening ceremony of China-Africa Forum in Senegal. The other Chinese company in Africa also will offer 400 million doses, which make the Chinese president promise to donate 1 billion doses of its COVID-19 vaccine to the African country. The third point on how diplomacy helps to promote human rights is when Australia and ASEAN join effort to combat human trafficking. Human trafficking is a serious crime and a grave violation toward human rights. It is the trade of humans for the purpose of forced labor, sexual slavery, and many others. Thousands of men, women, and children has been fall into the hand of traffickers every year, and almost every country is affected by the trafficking, whether they are as origin country, transit, or the destination country. According to the International Organization of Migration, IOM, the victim of human trafficking in Southeast Asia was migrated due to the in search for the paid job, but end up to be forced to work at the agriculture, fishing, construction, and domestic work. They were forced to work until 20 hours a day, but were being paid too little or not being paid at all. Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the ASEAN, had taken several initiatives to tackle the issue, which is the implementation of ASEAN Convention Against Trafficking in Persons, especially women and children. This policy was aimed to prevent the human trafficking and also to protect and assist the victim, in which require more coordinated enforcement and collaboration within the region. Therefore, in order to improve the ASEAN country effort, Australia taking an initiative to implement ASEAN-Australia Counter-Trafficking Initiative to fight against human trafficking in Southeast Asia region. Australia Foreign Minister Mary Spainy launched the new collaboration with ASEAN countries during the Australia Ministerial meeting in Thailand on 2019. The initiative was a 10-year collaboration with $54 million investment that was aimed to enhance the criminal justice system in Asia countries in combating human trafficking in the region. Thank you.
Hi, I am Marisha. Now I will continue the way of diplomacy help promote human rights in other countries. As we know, Malaysia and Palestine has a strong relations. Malaysia always stand with Palestine whenever that country having a problem. Therefore, Palestinian student was given offer to study at Malaysia University by government of Malaysia. This program was announced by former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad during 9th Grand Iftar program with the Palestinian community There are around 11.47 million ringgit Malaysia of the scholarship that will be donated to the Palestinian Culture Organization Malaysia. This program is for the education rights to the Palestinian and students that eligible to continue their study to pursue bachelor, master, and PhD, and 12 university was selected for given scholarship for Palestinian students. Malaysia has launched this program not only for show their commitment and concern of academic excellence from university, but this program also has given opportunities to students from Palestine to improve and expand their knowledge. Next is Malaysia assists Rohingya refugees. As we know, due to Rohingya people issue, Malaysia always consistent to help and assist Rohingya refugees. Malaysia always speak up about the human rights issue that involves the oppression of the Rohingya ethnic in Myanmar. Government will pursue where to uphold justice and bring the people that involved in human rights violation to justice and be tried in accordance with international law. Malaysia also helped the Rohingya ethnic to get their status of citizenship in Myanmar and bring them back to Myanmar for the Rohingya people that fled to Bangladesh. Malaysia argues the aid support to help refugees to provide immediate assistance in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, which more than 500,000 Rohingya ethnic to stay and get protection. Therefore, this relation may strengthen the relation between the countries in the future. So, the conclusion that we can make from this topic is diplomacy is important to strengthen the relations between state, nation, and organization. Diplomacy is known as the art of peaceful relationship to every country. It's not only to protect our country but also it's to protect human being of the people in our country. Diplomacy also could help us to improve the human rights in other countries, especially the country that has affected from the attack such as Palestine, Afghanistan, and so on. Everyone has the right to get their freedom and treat as the human being even now and in the future. That's all from us. Thank you.